up, man?
Hey, Kyle.
Why not, Sean? It's good to see you.
Thanks, you too. As everyone can see, our glasses already have beer in them. Kyle has a little bit. I have a little bit. Mike has none. I accidentally had Kyle and Mike's audio muted on the recording, so we recorded a good 14-minute review, but here we are. We're going to do a quick summarized version of this. The beer we are drinking is Rip Rap by Hop Butcher for the World. This is their 5.75% Nelson Eldorado Pale Ale. That is some notes of cold white grapes, lush tropical fruit, and zesty citrus. So as you can see, as we said, we already went through this, but the beer looks gorgeous. It's like sunshine in a glass.
Sean looks better. Like the way my lighting looks more what it actually looks like.
And what were we gonna say, Mike?
So it had a really nice, luscious head when it was freshly poured.
I still have the video, so I can be like, look, this is what the head looks like.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. If we get a nose. The thing I noticed, and I said this was in the original video, cotton candy grapes comes to mind. Something I get a little bit of cotton candy with it, but you get a lot of the Nelson coming through. The Eldorado I don't think came too much on the nose, but unless that was the zesty citrus.
Yeah, we definitely focused on characteristics that Nelson would be kicking out when we did the aroma. I think that's still pretty true with what's left in the glass and now that's on our palates. One of the things I wanted to point out was the can, as Sean said, it says zesty citrus. And I know when I'm doing reviews, I'm trying to get in the habit of not using the word citrus, but trying to be more specific. Or if I do use the word, what I'm getting is navel oranges or lemon or whatever. This, I think, is very accurate in the aroma because you're getting definitely orange and lemon. And I do think it comes across zesty, but then there is some like orange juice also. So I do think it's a good use of the word citrus here. That was like my big thing I wanted to mention from both videos.
No, that's definitely like a really good way to kind of put it. Should we get a taste of it? A new taste?
Yes.
Yeah, we won't bury the lead. It's really good. We really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
It has a nice level of bitterness as it kind of finishes off that's like coming from the Eldorado. It's got a lot of the citrus. It has a little bit of sweetness on the side palate right before it kind of bitters out. It's a really delicious beer. It has the mouthfeel is medium to full. It's cloudy. It's just really it's a very well constructed pale ale. One of the things we did discuss in length, which is I think the most disappointing part that we lost. Is this closer to an IPA or is this closer to a pale ale?
And I think Mike can speak to that.
My opinion is it's absolutely an IPA. The difference between a pale ale and IPA, despite sort of what seems to be the current go-to, is not ABV. It's about the hop additions. A pale ale and an IPA isn't the difference between 5.5% and 7.5%. I had a much better argument last time. I'm not really going anywhere with this. I just feel like, in general, you have a beer that is overhopped. At this point, it becomes an IPA. That's the hop additions is what makes them an IPA versus a pale ale. Pale ales weren't traditionally super bitter beers. They are pale malt beers. If you think about something like a Whirlpool.
Oh yeah.
A Whirlpool that's a pretty standard pale ale, especially American style, because it is sort of like on the verge of the New England kind of citrusy and stuff, but it has
a good malt backbone.
Mostly malt backbone. Yep. And it's lightly hopped in comparison to like what we would have for a regular IPA. It's not because it's a 5% or whatever it is, and not whatever the ABV is. That's not what makes it a pale. Right. What makes it a pale is, and the difference is the difference between the pale and the IPA is the hop additions. In any like I said earlier, was 3 years ago, this would have just been an IPA. Like, I don't think anyone would look at this as a pale, in my opinion.
So, and then I guess we have to keep saying, in the original 14-minute one that we did, I said this, but Hop Butcher seems to be really good at, for the ABV, it drinks like the next thing up. So like to Mike's point, this is a lower ABV. A lot of people would look at this through today's eyes and be like, this is a pale ale ABV wise, drinks like an IPA. They're 7.5% double IPAs. Some people would consider that an IPA because of the ABV. I don't know why I'm putting ABV in air quotes because that is the term, but anyway. But it drinks like a double IPA. Like all of those have, drunk like double IPAs. So they are really good at getting that bigger flavor, like going up that next step, if you will, while the ABV stays relatively low for the style through 2020 eyes. But anyway, I think Mike brings up a cool point, interesting point for sure, and just where we are now, where we were, where those worlds should merge maybe. But this is like Sean said, this is a crusher. This is great. This is,
It is a crusher. I literally destroyed it.
When Mike didn't have any, when we had the oh crap moment of like, what do we do now? The audio didn't record. It's like, well, I have this much. Sean's like, I have this much, and Mike's like, I finished mine, man. That was great. So,
but yeah,
I think that's praise.
But yeah, this definitely was a great beer. Definitely hit on all the notes on the back. This is definitely a beer you could crush a 4-pack in your backyard on a nice summer day, being only 5.7%, 5.75%. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you've had Hop Butcher's Rip Rap, their American Pale Ale with Nelson and El Dorado. What do you think of it? Do you think it's an IPA? Let's have a conversation down below. And nerdsense.net is where you can find us. You can find us all on our social places. And then Kyle, where can we find you?
No Hype Beer Reviews at YouTube, Instagram, and Untapped.
Excellent. Mike, where can we find you?
Quarantine.
Nice. Okay. I just wanted that joke again.
Wait, do we hit the 14-minute mark again, or do we have to keep going and dragging this?
No,
out?
somehow we hit 7 minutes and we did a abbreviated review. Yes. So, anyways, and hit those notification bells. And I'm Sean.
I'm Mike.
I'm Kyle.
And this is Nerdsense.
This is Nerdsense.